I'm in a really weird mood today, so like, prepare yourselves, because I'm gonna get weird. Hello everyone, my name is Lisa and I'm the Viet Vegan, because I'm Viet and I'm vegan. And today we're gonna do a second installment of my new series called Is It Worth the Space? I'm just having a little bit of fun, you know? I've been getting into brush lettering lately. In my first installment of Is It Worth the Space, we looked at a juicer, which I was like, wow, okay, interesting. Yeah, I still have it. Although, I will update you guys. You guys were asking, did I actually use it? For the following 2 weeks after that video, I probably juiced every single day. I actually went through a lot of produce and I did feel pretty good about it afterwards. I was like, ooh, delicious juice. It's a great way to start the morning. I didn't have coffee for those like 2 weeks. And then it got really cold. I kind of got sick and I juiced some off vegetables that kind of messed me up, you know? I didn't juice for a while since that. So I haven't been juicing, but it is winter here and it's cold AF. So I also haven't been going to yoga, which is another reason why I liked the juice, was because after yoga, it feels like a little energy boost. I haven't been juicing, but I also haven't been going to yoga. Those two tend to correlate for me. So once I'm back into yoga, I assume I'll be back into juice as well, because that's when I start craving the juice. So in that video, you guys voted air fryer. You guys want to see the air fryer. If you guys watch my What I Eat in a Days, you guys probably see me use this a lot, especially when I'm home by myself, being lazy, and Eddie's not around. I've had this since my old place in the condo. So probably I've had this for over 2 years, maybe 3, probably 2 years. And basically, if you guys don't know what an air fryer is, it is a convection oven with a basket so that things kind of fry, but with the air instead of baking. But so it's like cooking from like all different directions instead of just like from above or below. So you can bake things in this. I don't, because you can only bake like 4 things. It's not an economical use of space. If I'm gonna make cookies or muffins or something, I might as well make like 12 of them so that I can have 12 to eat, you know what I'm saying? So there's an element on top and then like a fan that blows hot air around. And because there is a basket on the bottom, there's space in the bottom for air to like cook from below. The reason why I like this is because I don't personally like frying stuff. I find it cooks things faster and I have to use less oil. Not that I am anti-oil, I just like, you know, obviously eating foods drenched in oils is not good for you, so I don't do that as much because I have this. I have 5 sort of basic tenets to assess whether or not it is worth the space. So the first thing is, how much space does it actually take? Honestly, this guy takes up a lot of space, but because of the amount that I use, I would say that it's definitely worth the counter space just because I use it so often. Also, for those who are wondering, I bought the cheapest air fryer I could find, which is the Molla one. I think when I bought it, it was like $60, $70, if that, because I didn't want to spend like $200, $300 on an appliance that I didn't know whether or not I liked. Now, since then, a bunch of other companies have reached out to me being like, hey, we want you to try our air fryer. And I'm like, ooh, that would have been cool if you emailed me maybe a month ago, because I had already bought this at the time. I should review them for you guys, but also I just don't want to have 4 or 5 air fryers. That's just a waste of space. And that's not what we're about, okay? I'm pretty sure they all work sort of the same anyway. But we'll talk about the quality of this one versus say a higher end one later. The next question is, what would I use it for? Okay, so funny you should ask. One of my favorite things that I like to use it for is for frozen processed foods, chicken nuggets or the Gardein fish fillets or French fries. They're all really good for those kinds of things because those are already like kind of half fried. So there's oil already in the batter. Typically when you do it on the stove or in the oven, they will release a lot more oil, or they'll like require oil to like cook further without sticking to the pan. Like if I cook Gardein fish fillets on a pan, then like both sides will be crispy, but like the sides like around the fish fillet will still be kind of soggy, and I don't find that happens in this. I find that it's like pretty evenly crispy, which is pretty delicious. I like it. Plus it cooks a lot faster in this because it's cooking from all around instead of just above or below and then flipping or whatever. You know what I'm saying? This is honestly a really good thing if you are lazy and you're cooking for like 1 or 2 people. Another thing that I use it for, honestly, is for vegetables. So I like to eat roasted vegetables, but I don't like to wait like half an hour for roasted vegetables. So I'll use this for kind of like tougher brassicas like kale, for kale chips, although I find that because it's like a fan that blows stuff around, some of the kale chips kind of like blow around a little bit, but it's not a huge deal. It does get really crispy kale chips within like 10 minutes. It's awesome. I also use it for Brussels sprouts. You guys have probably seen me use it a lot in What I Eat in a Days, as well as broccoli. So I'll just toss it with a little bit of oil, a little bit of salt, and then I just like kind of shake the basket to cook it or to like coat the veggies in oil. I also use it sometimes for baked tofu. I find it gets pretty good. I actually prefer baked tofu versus the air fried tofu, but if I'm like super lazy and I don't want to like turn up the heat 15 minutes for it to preheat and then bake for half an hour, that's just like a lot of waiting and I'm like hungry now. You can do a lot more with it. On top there's like a cupcake. It talks about meat. I think this is a burrito. I can't really tell. Potatoes. I've actually made baked potatoes in here. It was pretty good, but it still takes about half an hour. I find that it is really worth for those processed foods. If you don't eat processed foods, maybe you won't use this as much, but it is really great for vegetables and kale chips too. So the next question is, how easy is it to clean? Now, I find this actually super easy to clean, but it depends on the make and the model. Some of them have like extra parts, some of them have like a spinny thing. There's like a big brand name, I can't remember, but they have like the Smart Actifry or whatever it's called. And there's like little things that like shift stuff around. I don't know why I decided to demonstrate that for you. There's like a couple other elements to it, and like that just seems like kind of a to clean, no offense. So I personally don't think I would like any of those because of that. But this one is really easy. Basically, it's just the basket and this bottom part. And like, you probably should clean this more than I do, which is never. I mean, it's not like it directly touches your food. Anything that like goes flying in the air just kind of gets stuck on top. Oh, I just touched it. Ooh, it's greasy. Okay, maybe clean that. It's like, you know, you gotta clean your microwave. It's like the same frequency. So I just clean this out with soapy water. Same thing with this. You don't even need to like let it drip dry or air dry or something like that, because you just clip it back in and then you just put it in. And then you just turn it on for like 5 minutes and then it's dry as is. The next part of the assessment, quality. Will it last? Granted, I've had this for about 2 years. Mine is like a super cheap one, so like it's like as basic can be. So there's like a pretty like basic coil, basic fan, very imprecise dial for temperature, and like equally imprecise dial for time. So you can like turn it like a minute or two, but it doesn't actually turn on the fan and like the heating element part of it until you hit 4, which is like kind of annoying. So usually if I want to turn it on to just like 1 or 2 minutes, I'll like turn it all the way up and then I'll like turn it down to 1, and that's the only way it'll work. But I did pay 60-70 bucks for it, so like I'm not complaining that hard. It's not that big of a deal. There are way fancier air fryers out there with bigger baskets, slightly more sophisticated exteriors, more precise time and temperature dials, but honestly, I cook by smell, if that makes any sense at all. So if something smells like it's done, I'll take it out. You know what I mean? Yeah, I've had it for over 2 years. It hasn't crapped out on me yet. It's pretty sturdy in terms of like construction. I mean, it is plastic, but it's like plastic and metal. It's not a huge deal. One thing I should also mention is that because it's like an air, like a fan with like, that blows hot air around, there's a vent at the back, and that needs to blow at something that won't catch fire and isn't gonna be harmed if it's hot. I kind of point this at the back corner of my kitchen or like on the counter. If you can blow it against like a backsplash, that's probably best, because if there's any like stuff that flies out, which I haven't experienced or seen, but if that's something that you're concerned about, at least with the backsplash, you can just clean it off. It's just logic, you know, like hot air needs to circulate, therefore hot air will circulate out. It's lasted me this long. I don't see it breaking anytime soon, but who knows? Quality isn't amazing, but it does the job. So you decide what is worth for you. If you want to pay $70 for an air fryer to eat more vegetables, hey, that's worth it. But if you want to buy one that's like super precise that you can like bake with and you can like do a bunch of other stuff with, that isn't just heating up Gardein chicken strips, then you know, you do you. Yeah, so the final assessment is, how often will I actually use it? Now, if Eddie is around, I am more motivated to cook actual food. So I'll cook like dal or curry or stir fry or soup or like something that's like fairly healthy. It depends, but I probably use this at like 2 or 3 times a week depending on Eddie's work schedule and how motivated I am to cook. I'll also use this to toast my naan, which is like really random, but I just really like how like toasty one side of it gets and how like tender and soft the other side gets, because it like kind of blocks the air. So it just kind of like circulates air on top, but like not so much on the bottom, but it still heats it, you know what I'm saying? I like it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Is it worth the space? For me, yes. For you, I don't know, you have to decide. In the new house, I'll probably be keeping this on the counter because of how much I use it, but that's honestly just me. I could, you know, pull it out and like put it away and like hide it or whatever, but like honestly, my kitchen has always been more functional than it has been aesthetic. Like I see a lot of people with like clean countertops with like nothing on them. I don't care. Anyway, so that wraps up this video. I hope you guys liked it. Let me know your thoughts below. Do you have an air fryer? Is it worth the space for you? What do you make in it? The next episode of Is It Worth the Space is probably going to be a pasta maker because I've had a pasta maker since I was in university. Actually, this university where I did my undergrad, which was like, when was that? 2008 to 2012. That was a while ago. What are other appliances that you would like me to review, whether or not it's worth the space? And yeah, subscribe if you like this kind of thing. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a delicious day. Bye. Camera, are you gonna be okay? Can you just chill, camera? Can you freaking chill, camera? So in my first episode of Is It Worth the Space, all right, we gotta like hype ourselves, okay? Let's get cooking. I'm so tired. I'm just gonna take a nap. There's gonna be a lot of footage for me to look at later.